Welcome to News Today with WW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for December 30th, 2019. If you're looking to bear the crowds for the sake of spending New Year's Eve in the most magical places on Earth, we salute you. You'll want to know that the Magic Kingdom will be open from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. with extra magic hours from 7 to 8 a.m. in case those other hours aren't long enough for you, with Fantasy in the Sky fireworks at both 6:30 and 11:50 p.m., plus celebration dance parties in Frontierland and Tomorrowland starting at 7 p.m. Epcot will be open from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. and will celebrate the new year as it moves around the World Showcase. Each international pavilion will offer a festive announcement when the clock strikes midnight in their country, and guests can enjoy live music at the American Gardens Theater. As well, Epcot Forever will have showings at 6:30 and 11:40 p.m. with a special countdown to 2020. Disney's Hollywood Studios hours are from 6 a.m. to 12, with a Wonderful World of Animation at 6:05 and Jingle Bell Jingle Bam at 6:30. Hollywood Studios will also celebrate starting at 7 p.m. on December 31st with a dance party at the center stage, and you can catch Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular just after midnight. That'll also include new scenes from Rise of Skywalker for the first time. Disney's Animal Kingdom is getting in on the fun this year as well. It'll be open from 7 a.m. to midnight. Animal Kingdom will be hosting a full-on pin trading event where guests can purchase an exclusive limited edition New Year's pin. Wristband distribution will start at Park Open. That's right, at 7 a.m. You can then pick up your pin at 7 p.m. That's a real thing they're doing. They want to make sure that you're not going to the other parks and overcrowding them. Guests can celebrate with specially themed food and beverage throughout the park as well. There's Rivers of Light, We Are One at 6:30, 8, and 11:15 p.m. The park will also stay open until midnight and include a special countdown to the midnight and the new year on the Tree of Life, a projection show. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, Disneyland will be open from 8 to 2 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for extra magic hour there and magic morning. Fantasmic will be performed at 9:10 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. with Mickey's Mix Magic back for 9 p.m. and 11:59 p.m. New Year's Eve countdown celebrations will take place across the park as well. Meanwhile, over at California Adventure, the park is open from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. with a 7 to 8 a.m. extra magic hour. Holiday offerings include a New Year's Eve countdown celebration at Paradise Gardens Park, and of course, that leads into World of Color. At the Magic Kingdom on December 21st, the new security screening checkpoint opened. As you approach the old security checkpoint from the bus area, the tables and metal detectors have been removed. The new checkpoint has temporary tables for bag check and metal detectors behind them. It's located closest to the bus stop and will be utilized by guests coming in by bus. It's been a few weeks since the Designed by You personalized shirt lab opened up inside the Tomorrowland Light and Power Company at the Magic Kingdom. It appears that new designs have arrived from the Outer Rim. New Baby Yoda designs, or the child, don't want to make everybody angry by saying Baby Yoda, but it's what everybody calls him, right? Baby Yoda or the child designs from the popular Disney Plus series The Mandalorian are available at the kiosk. Tees are available in sizes for the whole family, from youth crew necks to adult tees to women's scoop neck dolman style tees. As well, gray and black Baby Yoda socks have floated into Walt Disney World. You can pick from one of two styles. One is black with a galactic Baby Yoda pattern. The other is gray with Baby Yoda and a background reminiscent of The Mandalorian. They come in two sizes, adult small and medium, and adult large and extra large. There's also 3 new shirts for you to choose from that aren't customizable, including a long sleeve tee, a scoop neck tee, and a classic crew neck tee. As well, a new Spirit jersey debuted featuring Baby Yoda on the front and the Mandalorian logo on the back. However, these are already flying off shelves and selling out very quickly. For pricing and information regarding all of these items, all of these Baby Yoda items, you can check out WDWNT.com. There's a lot of Baby Yoda things. As well, a new Baby Yoda plush has hit the virtual shelves of Shop Disney. Available now for pre-order. The item is expected to be available by February 20th, 2020. There's a limit of 1 per guest. Embrace the adorable creature known as the child with this soft, cuddly plush toy featuring faux suede coat and fuzzy trims. The plush measures 11 inches and classified as a small plush. The child plush pre-order retails for $24.99 plus tax on Shop Disney. While it has been known that The Mandalorian was previously greenlit for a second season, we now know when to expect more from this stunning Star Wars series. In a tweet by none other than the show creator Jon Favreau, it has been revealed that Season 2 of the series will be coming fall 2020. So don't worry, more Baby Yoda stuff can be made. Just more and more Baby Yoda. A brand new merchandise line has been released across Walt Disney World, this one not with Baby Yoda. The new Parklife line, serving as next year's replacement for the former Passport collection. The new items feature many items like a water bottle, blanket, backpack, apparel, ornaments, and more. If you're in love with the new Parklife merchandise collection, there's even a new limited release Magic Band available to complete your look, and it celebrates all the fun and fantasy of the Magic Kingdom. However, do note that the Magic Band was pulled from shelves later that day due to syncing issues with the My Disney Experience app and may return, though. For a better look at the full Parklife merchandise collection and all prices on these items, you can view the many articles about them on WDWNT.com. The Festival of Fantasy Parade will be moving back to a 3 p.m. start time beginning January 2nd, 2020. In August, the parade moved to 2 p.m. to better accommodate the Magic Kingdom hard ticket events, where guests enter the park around 4 p.m. for those events, sometimes DVC members even earlier than that. So now the parades, because those events are over, moving back to a 3 p.m. start time January 2nd. The Muppets Present Great Moments in American History show has returned for a limited time at the Magic Kingdom. Much to the disappointment of hundreds of fans, the show was canceled amidst a slew of budget cuts earlier in the year. And while we thought we had seen the last of this in October, we're happy to announce that it's back at least for a couple weeks now. In fact, we were there to capture the first return performance of the limited time show, which you can watch right here on our YouTube channel. The Muppets will perform daily in Liberty Square at the Magic Kingdom through New Year's Eve. The new restroom facility at the entrance to World Showcase at Epcot finally opened on December 21st. These new restrooms replace the old refreshment port restrooms that were often in disrepair and incredibly small. The new facility is huge, featuring men's and women's restrooms plus a standalone companion restroom. 2 water fountains complete with a bottle filler are off to the exterior side of the building. The standalone companion restroom features its own entrance off to the side by the water fountain. Nearby, Starbucks has returned in Epcot in the form of the new Travelers Cafe, which opened on Christmas Eve. Starbucks' former Epcot location at Fountain View closed in early September this year to make way for the new Festival Hall and World Celebration area of the park, one of the park's new neighborhoods. A new temporary Starbucks location has been constructed on the Rose Walk pathway between Refreshment Port and the new restrooms we just talked about. This Starbucks location is small and kiosk style. It has a sleek contemporary design with a boxy shape and a flat roof. Since there aren't overhead menus, handheld menus are distributed with the official Travelers Cafe name. All menus feature the new futuristic-style Epcot font, which is a fun touch. While most Starbucks locations on property sell branded mugs, tumblers, and ornaments on site, due to space constraints at this Starbucks, guests are invited to explore all the drinkware at the nearby port of entry. A few weeks back, we speculated on a new set of walkways that were being constructed near the future Moana Journey of Water as temporary bypasses to be used as construction ramps up at Epcot. This walkway, as well as another one in Future World West, will open to guests sometime in and continuing through January 2020. This new walkway will act as a detour for guests while work continues on the entrance to the park, the center of Future World, and eventually on Spaceship Earth in 2020. The walkway will connect the west side of the park's main entrance to the promenade near the seas with Nemo and Friends, possibly bypassing all the construction as a temporary way to get into this area of the park. Over on the other side of Spaceship Earth, another walkway will link the east side of the main entrance to Future World East near Mission Space and the new temporary Mouse Gear. With a massive reimagination of Epcot taking place, it was only fitting that the park also received a new logo to match. And in true Disney fashion, the logo has been immortalized on a new Spirit jersey, which we found at Pin Central, which isn't actually Pin Central, it's just a stand that sells merchandise now. The new black Spirit jersey features the new park logo with the Epcot name in all capital letters. And on the back, that's on the back, while on the front it features the reborn classic Epcot symbol. The Spirit jersey retails for $69.99. With all the new additions coming to the park, this is guaranteed to be fashionable well into the future. As part of Epcot's transformation, the main storefront Mouse Gear, which opened in 1999, is set to close for a major remodeling. On January 4, 2020, Mouse Gear will have its final day of operation in its current location. Originally set to close this year, the store's closure has been somewhat delayed, but it seems that work has begun in earnest, with counters already being swapped out for temporary wheeled registers. The store will reopen in its temporary location in Innoventions East on January 5th, 2020. The temporary location will also be called Mouse Gear. No completion date for the new shop has been announced. On January 5th, 2020, the temporary character spot locations in Innoventions West will be closing as well. Here's where you'll be able to find all those character meet and greets starting January 5th. Mickey Mouse will greet guests in the queue area of the Disney Pixar Short Film Festival in the Imagination Pavilion. Minnie Mouse will greet guests in World Showcase Gazebo. Daisy will relocate to Future World East as a result of Minnie's move. Goofy will greet guests in the main entrance near Spaceship Earth. It's also been announced that Sadness and Baymax will no longer be available to meet guests at that time. It appears we now know the focus of the upcoming backdrop for Joy's Inside Out meet and greet at Epcot. Since our last update about the new meet and greet locations and ImageWorks inside the Imagination Pavilion, more artistry was added to Joy's backdrop. We now see a peek of Princess Dream Castle and a stuffed bear. These elements seem to set the scene at the Inside Out Imagination Land theme park, which Joy visits in the movie. Construction walls and a black curtain will block our view from the rest of the backdrop for now, but again, that'll open on January 5th. Nestled deep within the rocks of the Canada Pavilion is the theater where the new Canada Far and Wide and Circle Vision 360 will debut on January 17th for the start of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. On December 21st, the theater housing the film received the new marquee for the new attraction. You can spot the new sign just past the walkway. The marquee features the new film's name, replacing the former O Canada signage. The new sign also features a digital wait time to indicate when the next show will take place without you having to walk all the way to the attraction to find out. Disney's Hollywood Studios has extended its park hours on select days in early 2020. Park hours have been extended to 7 a.m. for additional days in January, presumably due to guest demand for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. From January 5th through the 11th, 2020, the park hours are extended to 7 a.m. opening. The park will also open at 7 a.m. on January 1st through the 4th, as we previously stated. Spoiler warning in effect for our next story. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, of course, boasts a number of incredible audio animatronic figures, but what happens when one of the central animatronics goes down in B mode? Well, inside Rise of the Resistance, there are two Kylo Ren animatronics. The second one you see during one of the many escape scenes just after the room with the blasting cannons. This is where Kylo Ren uses the Force to manipulate both transports simultaneously before a hole is blasted into a wall and he gets sucked into space. Well, at least we think. A new video showing the scene in B mode has surfaced, and instead of seeing the animatronic, riders see Kylo Ren in a TIE fighter attacking the ship through the windows. Kylo then, of course, is in the TIE fighter threatening the riders of their imminent demise before ultimately getting thwarted in a similar fashion as the TIE fighter is blown away. Dok-Ondar's Den of Antiquities has added 2 new lightsabers to the collection. Inside the glass showcase at the center of Dok-Ondar's at both Hollywood Studios and Disneyland, the Ben Solo and reforged Skywalker Legacy lightsabers sit right next to each other. Before Kylo Ren was Kylo Ren, his former self Ben Solo used a blue lightsaber while being taught by our favorite Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. The top of Ben Solo's lightsaber has a purple, blue, and yellow coloring. The reforged Skywalker lightsaber has been in the hands of many people, but now we see Rey learning to use the saber to its full potential. For a closer look at these new lightsabers and pricing information, you can check out our full article at wwnt.com. Travelers visiting Oga's Cantina at Hollywood Studios will find that a new item has appeared on the menu. The Boar sampler brings together a variety of meats, cheeses, and vegetables for a perfectly shareable snack. We were first introduced to the Boar sampler at Disneyland when it was added back in October. The Boar sampler here at Walt Disney World is a selection of cured and roasted meats, cheese, and pork cracklings. A similar version was tested earlier this year, but was plated and presented a little differently. The Boar sampler is available for $21 at Oga's Cantina at Disney's Hollywood Studios. There's a reason restrooms had to be installed halfway through the queue inside Flight of Passage in Pandora, the World of Avatar at Animal Kingdom. According to an Orange County Sheriff incident report, a woman was urinated on earlier this year while in line for the attraction, which is notorious for its long wait times. The 22-year-old woman was in line when she suddenly felt something wet on the back of her leg. Upon turning around, she realized it was a man urinating in the queue right behind her. He had turned his back in an attempt to hide the scene, but the act was still in plain sight. The woman then kept her place in line for 20 minutes. I would have left. I don't know. But she kept her place in line for 20 minutes until she could alert a cast member of the incident. In the incident report, the 46-year-old man stated, quote, he would not have urinated if he thought he could have held it or made it to the bathroom without causing further issues. The woman received a change of clothes, and as for the queue urinal man, he was banned from, there's no easy way to say that. He was banned from the park for the remainder of the day. The mid-queue restrooms that were likely installed as a direct result of this and many more unreported incidents are now open in that queue. We saw the final signage installed at CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse on December 28th before its opening coming in January of 2020, Disney Springs. The restaurant's menu is also now available on its website. You can check it out at wwnt.com. Disney Springs West Side may have just gotten a bit sweeter with the recent announcement of a new state-of-the-art M&M's retail store taking over the former Curl and Fit to Run shops near Splitsville. Mars Retail Group announced last week the relocation of its existing M&M's experiential store from Orlando to Disney Springs, of course the Florida Mall location. Construction is expected to begin immediately with an anticipated 2020 grand opening. With the opening of the new store, the existing M&M's retail location inside the Florida Mall will be closing. Opened in 2015, Irwin Pearl at Disney Springs has been one of the biggest jewelry stores in the shopping and entertainment center, but has struggled to draw clientele, much like a lot of these smaller shops, and it will be permanently closing on January 6, 2020. It's expected that Disney will come up with some sort of pop-up shop to take over the space while a permanent tenant is sought. If you've been following along with our coverage of Disney's Riviera Resort, you probably noticed that a large part of the coverage is essentially eating everything the newly opened resort has to offer, from signature dining to character breakfast and everything in between. While reviews from Topolino's Terrace were night and day, there's one spot on property that never failed to impress, and that's Primo Piatto. From effortless ordering process to the Coke freestyle machines to the fabulous plates and silverware, the fast casual counter service is a surefire hit, if not one of the best in all of Walt Disney World. We tried all the new lunch sandwiches, sides, salads, and pasta, as well as took loads of pictures to give you the full look at Primo Piatto, including going back for dinner for a grilled hanger steak, a variety of chicken offerings, and dessert offerings as well. We also did breakfast there. You can check out all those reviews on our site. Our favorite new nook in all of Walt Disney World property is Le Petite Cafe, the quaint coffee shop in the lobby of the Riviera Resort. If you're tired of hurriedly sipping coffee out of styrofoam cups, take a moment to relax and sip expertly crafted lattes out of porcelain mugs at Le Petit Cafe. You've probably seen the lounge's extravagant pastries served in the afternoon and evening, but the morning is a much more laid-back affair with buns, croissants, and loaves for breakfast. For a well-rounded, carb-loaded breakfast, we opted for a chocolate chip banana bread and a cinnamon roll, as well as the Riviera Resort Blend Cold Brew and the off-menu caramel latte. For a full review on those, you could also check out our website. Just a week after the Murphy beds at the newly opened Riviera Resort were declared out of order following an incident where a bed collapsed and fell on a guest, a new issue has arisen. According to DVC News, guests staying at the resort's Disney Vacation Club villas have been asked not to use their wall-mounted beds, specifically the larger pull-down convertible sofa beds. Signage was reportedly placed in the villas and messages were left via voicemail in each villa warning guests of the situation. This especially affects guests staying in Tower Studios, where the only bed is a queen-sized pull-down. According to sources, a guest reported that they were forced to move to a one-bedroom villa around midnight on December 24th. Other guests were allowed to stay in their studios accommodated with an air mattress provided by the resort, while others had the pull-down mattresses placed directly on the floor. Reportedly, resort management has already contacted some guests with offers of compensation, as well as a promise that the situation will be resolved within 48 hours. Back in late August, Beaches and Cream Soda Shop at the Beach Club Resort closed for an extensive refurbishment. After numerous delays, the beloved fan favorite soda shop has returned and is reopened to guests. And it soft opened, in fact, on December 24th and then officially reopened on December 26th. Off to the side, the restaurant now sports its very own to-go window. Previously, guests would have to walk into the restaurant to a counter to order to-go shakes and ice creams, and the area was often crowded and congested. Now, this breezy new interior and counter should help alleviate all of that. You can read our reviews of all the new items, including the French dip, the loaded tots, the Beaches and Cream salmon salad, vegan cookie sticks and cotton candy Stormalong shake, and much, much more on our website. The McDonald's closed for a remodeling just off of Osceola Parkway is taking shape, a V-shape that is. With the former restaurant building fully demolished, new framework has been erected with the back of the new establishment already built up from the ground. Progress at this site seems to be moving faster than many other projects on property, probably because it's just a McDonald's. The V-shape is a bit like the retro-style McDonald's locations that have slanted slope towards the back of the building. There's been a lot of progress since the original building's demolition, which was originally thought to be only a refurbishment. You can take a tour of the McDonald's as it existed from 2009 to 2019 in a video right here on our YouTube channel. In what is yet another report of guest misconduct at the most magical place on Earth, a number of Walt Disney World cast members, all character performers who portray Mickey, Minnie, and Donald in the parks, have filed police reports claiming they were inappropriately touched by guests. According to the Orlando Sentinel, a cast member who portrays Mickey claims she wound up at the hospital suffering neck injuries caused by a grandmother repeatedly patting her head while in costume, causing it to slide down and strain her neck. Another incident also took place on December 4th as a man groped a cast member portraying Minnie Mouse by grabbing her chest 3 times during a photo op alongside his wife. On December 3rd, a woman in her 60s continually attempted to kiss a cast member portraying Donald Duck at a restaurant inside of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Early in November, a 51-year-old guest was arrested after groping a princess walk-around character during a photo op. The meet and greet location was closed immediately as the cast member was left shaking and crying from the incident. The guest later turned out to be a registered sex offender. Yeah, be nice to characters, please. It's insane that we even have to say that, right? Orlando Business Journal's Jack Withos and Richard Bilbao reported that the Walt Disney Company's Compass Rose Corporation purchased approximately 235 acres of land just south of Reedy Lake on the northwest edge of resort property. The sale, completed on December 23rd, was for $6 million, valued at around $25,321 per acre. The land sits across from Disney's Palm, Magnolia, and Oak Trail golf courses. The reason for this purchase still remains a mystery. One theory proposed by John Gerner, managing director of Leisure Businesses Advisors LLC in Richmond, Virginia, is that Disney may decide to use the land as an undeveloped barrier to keep outside companies from moving in near the resort. However, its location may offer other uses. The land sits near the future site of Flamingo Crossing, which will become home to apartments and value-oriented hotels, shopping, and dining. The Disney Skyliner debuted this year to a rough start in terms of unexpected downtime, issues with ADA loading, and even a gondola crash, remember that? Which led guests to be suspended on the Epcot line for over 3 hours. Currently, gondola doors are offering a problem now, having problems opening and closing and remaining closed, many stuck in the open or closed position. The doors on some of the other gondolas do not completely close. While the Skyliner continues to transport guests across Walt Disney World property, Disney would like to assure you it is safe, and make sure guests don't have any anxiety when boarding the Disney Skyliner. While the gondolas have sported an emergency call box and even emergency supply kits from day one, it now has launched a Disney Skyliner Guest Services call line. Phone number for the Disney Skyliner Guest Services line is now posted inside every gondola cabin and is in place to ease guest tensions after the much-publicized incidents. The Skyliner still experiences temporary downtime on a regular basis. In fact, yesterday, several hours of downtime on the Epcot line. So it may also be a resource for guests who are feeling panic-stricken after being stuck in the air for some time. Disney has dropped a new set of mini ear headbands to add to the other new 2020 ears that were recently released. These were previewed back in November and are themed to red from Pirates of the Caribbean. Sure, they're just red. The strikingly red ears feature a metallic bow and all-around sequins on the ears and headband. There's also new Loungefly backpacks and wristlets to match the new sequin ears. They're available at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts. Starbucks has released new acrylic tumblers featuring images of various beloved attractions and characters from the theme parks. We've already seen these icons featured before on the park-specific ceramic tumblers, but the acrylic ones feature all of the Walt Disney World Resort icons. Similar to the Disneyland Resort Park Icon Tumbler, we see Cinderella Castle, the Tree of Life, Spaceship Earth, and the Hollywood Tower Hotel shaped collages with a winding trail that connects all the parks together. These can be found at various Starbucks and retail locations at Walt Disney World. Guests looking to ride Rise of the Resistance at Galaxy's Edge when it opens at Disneyland should be aware that a virtual queue for the attraction will be in place according to the OC Register. When the attraction opens on January 17th, those looking to ride the attraction will need to book a time and secure their place in a virtual queue as soon as they set foot inside Disneyland. While both Rise of the Resistance attractions at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios are identical, the virtual queue may work slightly different at Disneyland. Once inside the park, guests will have to log on to the Disneyland app and secure a boarding group. Push notifications will be sent as soon as their boarding group is called. Guests must be inside the park to select a Rise of the Resistance boarding group using the Disneyland app. Disney officials have confirmed that cast members will be allowed to preview Rise of the Resistance from January 8th through the 17th. During this time, cast members will be testing the park's announced virtual queue system ahead of the official January 17th opening. A galaxy far, far away is going away after it was announced that Hyperspace Mountain, the Star Wars overlay of Space Mountain, is getting removed. During refurbishment starting on January 7th, Space Mountain will be restored to its pre-Star Wars state. According to the OC Register, officials at Disneyland stated that the attraction would only be down for a few days to remove the overlay. Hyperspace Mountain will be one of a host of attractions that Disneyland closed on January 7th for refurbishment, including It's a Small World and Snow White's Scary Adventures. King Arthur's Carousel will be closing for a lengthy refurbishment in a few weeks' time as well. Slated to close on January 21st, 2020 and stay closed through May 21st, this 4-month refurbishment is likely to be quite extensive. King Arthur Carousel isn't the only attraction closing on the 21st either. The Haunted Mansion, Holiday, and Grizzly River Run will also join refurbishment list at that point. Scope of the work being done on the King Arthur Carousel isn't known at this time, but the length of the closure indicates that it could be quite intensive. As always, refurbishments can be altered at any time, and the planned May 22nd opening date could be changed. Disney has officially announced that guests will be able to team up with some of their favorite Avengers at Avengers Campus in California Adventure beginning summer 2020. Do note that the summer opening season applies only to Phase 1 of the Marvel-themed land. Phase 2, which will include the confirmed Avengers e-ticket attraction announced at the Expo, is still a few years away. You can check out the latest construction on Avengers Campus as well as an aerial overview of construction at wdwnt.com. After several months of sporadic unannounced testing, it appears that Big Thunder Mountain will be receiving a single rider line at Tokyo Disney. According to cast members at the attraction in Tokyo Disneyland, Big Thunder Mountain will be joining the single rider ranks starting January 2020. Like at other single rider attractions, guests will enter through the FastPass line and receive a paper ticket. After proceeding through the line with other guests, they will board the attraction and hand off their single rider paper ticket. The only other confirmed addition receiving a single rider line at Tokyo Disney Resort right now is the upcoming The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast. In September, we shared the news that a new set of monorails are coming to Tokyo Disney Resort in 2020. Just last week, the new Disney Resort line trains began their delivery. There's a few subtle but notable changes coming in the new Type C trains. The vehicle is taller and slightly wider than the current series. Also, the Mickey windows are about 50% larger. But the easiest way to tell the difference is the two-tone color stripe. Current trains feature a single wavy stripe. These new trains are expected to begin testing soon, with regular entry into service beginning this spring. The entire fleet will be replaced by 2024. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to wdwnt.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Crow saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.